Good morning, it's Wednesday morning, and you know what that means. I've got Vonda Gaynor, otherwise known as Vonda the Coupon Queen, here with me this morning. Welcome to the show, Vonda.
Thanks, Don.
You know, as we're wrapping up the Don show, you have been one of my favorite guests, and I'm not just saying it because we always have a few laughs before cameras start rolling on Wednesday morning. I always come up with something totally absurd to kind of set the mood, and today was nasal hair. But at any rate, but we're not going to talk about that today.
No, we're not.
What we are going to talk about is how people can save money.
Yes.
Which is what you do.
That's true. So today I want to talk about certain trigger words or signage, rather, in a lot of stores. The first one being 10 for 10 deals. You're
I don't even know what that means. 10 for 10
buy
deals.
10 items for
10
$10.
Oh, okay.
You're not always saving money. And a lot of consumers think that you have to buy 10 items. That's not true. When you see the signage that says 10 items for $10, you only have to buy one if you want to, and just pay $1, or mix and match. So you don't have to buy 10 identical items when you see the sign that says 10 for 10.
So all that 10 for 10 really just means $1 each.
Exactly, $1 each.
So you don't have to
buy.
buy.
But the way that it's worded, it always says 10 items for $10.
So they make you buy 10, or
they make you think you have to buy 10.
But you really don't.
But you don't have to.
So I may only need 5.
Exactly.
I may only need 2 nose hair trimmers and not 10.
There you go.
So, or maybe just 1 for $1.
Yes.
So.
And another tip, meats. Ground beef, a lot of meats are very expensive now. Just because you go in, let's say you want to buy a pound of ground beef. Maybe you live alone, maybe you don't need that much. You can ask the meat department to unwrap that, cut it in half, and repackage it for you.
I never thought of doing that,
Yes,
but I guess you could.
You can.
I mean, because it's sold by
Exactly,
weight.
and I do that.
And they have to package it. Yeah.
Yep, and they'll do it for you. That's another good way to save money on a very expensive item without having coupons.
And it doesn't have to be a butcher shop.
It doesn't have to
It could just be a supermarket,
Yes.
meat department.
Exactly. A pack of chicken legs. You don't want the whole pack.
You don't need 20 thighs.
Right.
You only need 10 or 5
Just
or whatever.
ask for somebody in the meat department and tell them how many you want. Ask them to repackage it. They will, no problems.
And that makes perfect sense, too, because, in the old days of the butcher shop, you would go in and buy what you needed, and they would wrap it for you and hand it to you.
Right.
Now everything's prepackaged, and all you have to do is pick it up, so why not?
Yes. And buy one, get one free deals.
Ah, the notorious BOGO.
Yes. A lot of people get excited when they see buy one, get one free deals. And sometimes they tend to buy things they don't need just because it says buy one, get one free. Don't do that. Buy one, get one free is not always the better deal.
Really?
No, because they
But
inflate.
it's free, Vonda.
But they inflate the price. So if you don't need 2 of something, look for a different brand and just get what you need. Don't buy something just because it says buy one, get one free. You end up spending more money.
So buy one, get one free isn't
It's
always...
not always the better.
It's not always a good
the
deal.
best. No, because they do increase the price.
So if you see a BOGO that's advertised, say maybe in a flyer in a newspaper, what should you do? Should you just Google it up and research it a little, or?
Or you can just look and say, is it a want or is it a need?
That's true.
If it's a want, don't get it.
Well, why buy things you don't need?
A lot of people do.
Yeah, because it's cheap.
Because
it's a deal.
Yeah, because it's a deal. But that ends up costing them more money in the long run.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. Well, Vonda, I got to tell you, in this final show together, I've learned a lot from you. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs, and I've actually got to know your family.
Yes.
And it's been a real joy having you on. And I know we haven't heard the last of the Coupon Queen because although the Don Show is wrapping it up, we can still get money-saving tips from you by going to your Facebook site, right?
That's true, Don.
The Coupon Queen.
Queen, yep, the Coupon Queen.
QPONQWEEN, right? The Coupon Queen. Vonda Gaynor, thank you again for being part of the Don Show.
Thank you, Don.
I look forward to seeing you and Preston and the family again soon.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Shane Johnson from Booyah Mortgage and the Booyah Girls.
Good
got
morning.
Shelley Calloway.
Booyah.
Good. Booyah. All right. Okay, now it's official. We got MJ Mata as well. And this is your team. This is your local team here. Now you're actually statewide, aren't you?
Yes,
I mean, you could write mortgages all over the state of Florida. But you got a great little concentration here in the Panama City area because we got 2 bases, we have a lot of military, we have a lot of retirees, we have a lot of people who qualify for VA home loans in this area. But you were a Marine, or are a Marine.
Yes,
you
sir.
served 4 years in the Marine Corps, and you're a Marine for life now. I guess what my question is, what makes a guy get out of the Marine Corps and start a mortgage business? I mean, there's plenty of mortgage companies out there, aren't there?
Absolutely. You know, I was very fortunate during my transition period to have the opportunity to get into mortgages. It was another way for me to serve in a different direction. I spent over 13 years in the business, and I found my passion. When you get out, you wish that you were back in, and when you're in, you wish you were out. So, the opportunity to speak with veterans and my brothers and sisters all day, every day, it just makes the job great and awesome. So,
and what a lot of people don't understand, and even veterans aren't really aware of the full benefit of VA home loans. I mean, it's a much more flexible program than most people realize.
Well, I think it goes beyond that too, and that's a big part of why myself and now MJ, we're a part of this team and growing this with Shane because of his passion and why he does what he does. And I think that's the biggest thing that resonates with everyone, which I think is very important for you to.
Yeah, I want everyone to understand that the reason why I created this company is I had a Jerry Maguire moment. I worked for a multi-billion-dollar company, and I was sitting on executive boards, and I had ideas about the VA that people wanted to profit from. And to be honest with you, I grabbed my goldfish and my suitcase and said, I'm not doing that. I can't do it anymore. What I want to do is I want to focus on an opportunity in a company that hires veterans, that works with veterans, that gives them the opportunity to do the right thing, as a
caters
whole.
to veterans.
Absolutely.
And not just bang out the benefit for the almighty buck.
No, I could care less about that, to be completely honest with you. I mean, as a business, what we want to do is we want to provide service, because you help enough people get what they want and you get what you want. And that's what it comes down to. And people need to understand that Booyah is not a mortgage company. We are an organization that is developed to focus on hiring veterans, to help them with transitioning opportunities, as well as serving them in their mortgage and financing needs. And if anyone else wants to think anything different, they can give me a call, because at the end of the day, it's about our brothers and sisters who are making that sacrifice, period, end of story.
So if I'm a young veteran, or even an older veteran, or a retired guy like me, and I wanted to learn more about my VA benefits, what do I need to do?
Just visit our website, www.booyahmortgage.com, or give us a call. All of our contact information is on there as well.
You can call Shelly or MJ.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are here local. And I know
Right.
you have a great resume of being in the mortgage industry for a long time. You come out of the banking industry as well. And then, of course, you got Shane as your guys' leadership. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see what happens next at Booyah.
It's a great organization. Happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's great. And thank you so much for everything you do for our veterans. Now this is going to be our last time together. The Don Show is wrapping up at the end of this month. And I'm going back to work for the Air Force again. Go
Glutton for punishment.
Glutton for punishment. Like 30 years wasn't enough.
If you need a mortgage, you know who to call. We can help you.
I already got one, but who knows? I may want to get
We
another
can
one.
refi too.
Boy, oh boy, always on the ball.
Right.
With military precision, they jump right in on a coordinated
Easiest one
attack.
ever.
Absolutely.
We'll take care of you.
We regrouped. We're ready to attack.
Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you guys, and thanks so much for coming on the show. And best of luck to you in your business, and thanks for everything you guys do.
Best
sir.
of luck to
Thank
you
you.
too,
You
Don.
as well.
Thank you.
You bet. Aim high. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with my friend and yours, Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting. Laura, it's been so much fun having you as part of this show.
I've had fun.
I know, this is kind of our swan song. I mean, I'm going back to government work and all that
Correct.
stuff, but this has been a real learning experience for me, and I learned a lot from you, too.
It's been a learning experience for me too.
Yeah, and I have a newfound respect for entrepreneurs now and business people.
Right.
Just knowing what you have to go through to try and turn a buck in this world with your
Exactly.
own small business.
Yep.
And part of that is just having the systems in place and knowing all of the processes that you need to put in your business to make it profitable, to make it
Correct.
last.
Yep.
And one of those things is cloud accounting, isn't it?
Correct. It just basically it makes things. It's a smarter and faster way of doing things. It's a wise investment for your business. I mean, between being able to get to it anytime, anywhere. I mean, and your financials are up to date. You know, you don't have to wait for that bank statement to come in. So I mean, it's just beneficial for your company.
So it's not
Time
like just
saving.
having it on your computer or on your desktop, click. I mean, this is like you could be anywhere
Exactly.
and dial into it somehow.
You can go take a vacation
Yeah.
and, you know, see what's going on in your company.
Now I can sign into QuickBooks anywhere in the world, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. As long as you have internet service,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And the same with my accountant. I
Yeah.
can call you and say, hey, I'm in Aruba on the beach right now, enjoying my profits from my wildly successful TV show. And can you dial in and walk me through my financials? And you could actually do that.
Exactly. All at the same
Yeah.
time and collaborate, you know. I mean, we could have 3 people on the conference call and all be looking at the same thing and not have to worry about having a server to maintain it or to buy maintenance. Because usually there's maintenance agreements and you have to update them annually, and you know, in order to keep that software on your desktop, and then you have a server you have to maintain. So I mean, there's lots of perks to being in the cloud because it updates it automatically behind the scenes. You never even know it, other than it looks different or you know.
What about privacy concerns? Are people like, oh, geez, I don't want my financials hanging out there in this cloud?
Right. Well, if you're secure in terms, or you feel secure in terms of looking at your bank statement online, it's the same security system that's running that. So I'm not going to say it's 100% secure. I think anything can be hacked. But,
Sure.
you know, overall, it is
Yeah.
pretty good.
So as long as there's Wi-Fi on that beach in Aruba, I can still look at it,
Yeah.
but not necessarily securely. Somebody may be on the same Wi-Fi looking at my stuff.
Well,
they would be
yeah.
tragically
well,
disappointed.
but if you had internet service, that's
Yep.
different than the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
You know, in terms of using
Security.
someone's. Yep. So
Oh, sure. So how does somebody get set up in cloud accounting? How do you do that? Say you're doing it the old-fashioned way.
they can research it online, or they can.
Or they can call you
Exactly.
at A-List Accounting.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Come on. It's your last time on the show. A-List Accounting, Laura Nelson. How do we get in touch with you?
They can go to my website at alistaccounting.com, or they can call me at 850-249-0315.
Very cryptic. Yes, alistaccounting.com.
That's
I
right.
mean, how hard is that? And I'm
Yeah.
sure you got a Facebook page out there, too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, A-List Accounting out on Facebook. Laura, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show, and thanks for being part of our little morning show family.
You're welcome.
And
It's been fun.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing great things from you, too.
Hopefully.
And we're gonna hopefully we'll see. Maybe your business will do better than mine. Who knows? You know, better than it's been a blast, and we'll see you around real soon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial right here in Panama City. Heather, welcome back to the show. So good to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me again.
This is like our swan song. It is like the last week or so of the Don show, and this is going to be your last appearance on the show.
It is.
You know, and I've learned quite a bit from you, like I have from all of my guests. But in particular, I'm very concerned, you know, about my retirement, as a lot of people are. Men of a certain age, and ladies as well, get concerned as they're staring down the barrel of Social Security, saying,
sure.
geez, what should I do, or what should I have been doing, and is it too late for me to do that? How long do I need to work? Should I pay my house off? I'm just bubbling over with questions, Heather.
Right.
So,
And the great thing is that I can give you all of those answers, pretty much all of those answers. So we have this fantastic software that's available to me at Raymond James called our Goal Planning and Monitoring System, and it takes a very holistic approach. And you know, first we simply take in all your information, what you have for assets and liabilities and things like that, and pensions that you have coming in, and input all of that in, and then we throw out what your goals are. You know, I want to have, for example, I brought a couple of slides as well. Like in this situation, this couple wants to have $100,000 in income. But the husband said, hey, wait, I want to travel more while I'm younger, so I want 12 more grand a year to spend for extra things while I'm younger, and then taper back off income later on, which is something we see commonly. Also, this couple, they have college that they've got to pay for, and so we look at those financial goals, the things that you want to meet, and then we put them into our system. And ultimately, this looks pretty simplistic, this next slide, but this shows you whether you're basically on track or not. The purple area is below what we call our confidence zone. The green is where you want to be in the confidence zone, and the blue is, if you're in the blue, you're
an overachiever.
You're an overachiever, right. But you know, you mentioned scenarios. Like this particular slide shows that I can run different scenarios for you in the same retirement plan. So you said maybe I want to pay my house off before I retire. I get asked that a lot. And if you were to take money out of, let's say, your assets that you have for retirement to pay off a lump sum on the house, maybe you need less income in retirement, but I can project for you what the probability of success is for you in that scenario versus your other scenario, versus not paying off the house. And we can do multiple scenarios
So you
all
can
the way
run
down
like the
the road.
amortization tables and all that
Yeah,
stuff and see
sure.
when it could happen and if it's even worth doing. Maybe it's not worth paying your house off for some people. Maybe you're better off just having that mortgage payment.
Sure. And then you mentioned Social Security. I can run for you every scenario because there's multiple scenarios, whether you're widowed or you're married or you're divorced. Different scenarios of taking and ways that you can take and receive your own Social Security, and the same for your spouse. And I can show you the best way to get the most from Social Security based upon your particular situation. And then the next thing that I think is really neat is what's called our Play Zone. This is available to my clients once we've established a plan for you, where they can automatically go back and toggle these switches, and it'll change instantly the results of their retirement plan. So let's say you've had a hard day at work and you're done.
I'm done. I've had it.
Right,
Yeah.
and then you can actually do this at home on your own and say, okay, it's been a bad day, and see where you stand if you're still on track to retire. And speaking of on track to retire, we take all of the retirement plans and I run them through a bear market test, which of course we went through. I run it through the same scenario that we went through in 2007, 8, 9, and see what does that do to your portfolio, and then, or to your retirement scenario. Can you still retire? Can you still have all the things you want in retirement, or are we just going to be able to cover the needs that you have in retirement? And then we also can run it for life insurance. Like, what if you pass away and now your pension doesn't carry on to Karen? Do we need to have some kind of extra insurance there for you? Same thing with long-term care. We're going to test your portfolio and your assets and your whole retirement plan, because it can totally derail. Somebody dies or somebody needs long-term care, total derailment of the retirement plan if those things aren't planned for. So.
This is an amazing tool.
It really
and
is.
I think a lot of people should, and as you get older, I know the average age of your clients is probably a little older than most, but you get more concerned about it the closer you get to retirement. When you're young, you're like, hey, I'm indestructible, who cares? But if somebody's watching this and they want to do some retirement planning and maybe run some scenarios with you, what can we do?
Just give me a call at 785-9614.
Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial here in Panama City. It's been a joy having you on the show, and thanks so much for being part of the Don Show.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with my friend Joe Bober, who is adjunct professor at Gulf Coast State College, who teaches IT and IT security. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did, Don. How are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for coming back on the show, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Here we are in our final days of the show, and it's always good to see old friends.
Always good to be here.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot from you, just over the years knowing you and all, and having you on the show. But maybe you can share with our viewers today what every home computer should have to stay secure.
Well, what you want to have is you want to make sure you have an antivirus software, and you want to make sure that it's current. What I mean by current is that you're going out and you're downloading all the latest updates, because the bad guys are always trying to come up with new ways to get into your system.
And a lot of that's pretty automatic too, depending on what you have. It'll say, hey, you're due for an update.
Correct. Mostly when you install them, it'll say the default setting is, okay, we're going to automatically update what they call virus signature files. Okay, and it'll do that on a periodic basis. It'll go out and it'll scan and say, hey, are there any updates? Yes, there are, so let's download them. And that's what you want to do. And you want to make sure that you have this for any type of computer you have. And what I mean by that is, in our family, we've got mostly Windows machines, but one of our children has a MacBook. And a lot of Mac users think, well, they just don't make viruses for Macintosh.
Yeah.
Well, yes, they do. So you want to make sure that you have an antivirus package, even if you have a Macintosh. And to carry this further, I know we've done this on previous shows, if your smartphone doesn't have an antivirus, then you're at risk.
Even if it's an iPhone and it's Mac-based.
Especially if it's an iPhone, because the Apple iPhone is the most popular smartphone out there. So if you're writing viruses because you're a bad guy, you're going to go to the item that's the head of the market share. So yes, they have viruses. They can get your contacts.
So they can get your contacts and whatever else information you might have on your iPhone.
And they can use your machine to break into other machines. It's what's called a botnet.
Really?
Okay, yes. What they can do is they can install a virus on your machine, and it can help attack other machines, and you won't even know about it.
Wow.
And that's why having your antivirus software up to date is so important.
So your machine can be a little lily pad for them to jump off to the next machine. And
That's correct. And if they, you know, if they get thousands and thousands of them, they can do a lot of damage to big corporations.
so basically, just make sure you have that basic antivirus program installed,
That's correct.
whatever it is that comes with the machine, or
Or
go
even
out
one,
there.
even one that you want to go purchase.
Yeah, I think we have Trend Micro at home, but I know Kaspersky is another one that's got a pretty good reputation.
That's
and-
the one that I have. If you spend $40, they give you 3 machines.
Yeah, which in the final equation is pretty cheap.
It's pretty cheap, and it's pretty common to have that many computers in this day and age.
It is. I mean, if you count all the devices in your household, forget it.
That's correct.
You've got 3, 4, 5, Lord only knows what. Joe Bober, IT specialist, thanks so much for coming on the show and getting us smart on antivirus programs. And we'll see you next time.